Pleased to be speaking with Simon Lawson this afternoon from Spartan Resources. Simon, good afternoon.
Hello, Andrew. How are you?
Yeah, really good, Simon. Good to have you back on Just Stocks. Look, big update from you this morning here as far as exploration at Dalgaranga. You've hit one of your best intercepts at the Never Never deposit. Just tell us a bit more about some of the numbers.
Yeah, well, it never stops, does it? We've managed to tag probably the third best intercept. Well, it is the third best intercept at the deepest point that we've drilled so far. This was a parent hole to allow us to drill out the resource that we released late last year, and obviously hope to provide some upside and growth. That's exactly what it's done. So we're happy in a couple of different dimensions at the moment.
And you were drilling fairly deep here, were you?
Yeah, that's right. So originally designed around 920, 930 meters as a total length. We intercepted the ore around 870, and then just drilled through what was a pretty good looking sequence, had some pretty good gold in it. We knew we were into the money, and we just eagerly awaited those assays to just prove it. So it's been a really exciting ride, this Never Never drill out. And we continue to keep putting visible gold in core on the racks to the point where we kind of stopped talking about it too much because I think it desensitized the market a little bit, and maybe we were showing off a little bit. But at the same time, when you see this kind of gold in these drill cores, it's just super exciting.
Hmm. Well, how many rigs, Simon, have you got on site at Never Never?
So 5 rigs at the moment, three on Never Never, three diamond rigs. So those two of those three are drilling out the conversion of the inferred portion of the indicated, two indicated of the resource we put out last year, and the third one is actually having a little bit of a nudge around the edges to see if we can grow further laterally, and then also try and prove up a link between the Gilby sequence and Never Never because that has some real potential for for exponential growth.
Well, Simon, you're undertaking this resource to reserves conversion program at the moment. Just tell us a bit more about this.
That's right, yeah. So it's obviously important for us to get as much of these ounces into reserve. We're really excited with the scenarios we're seeing at the moment. Obviously, we haven't released anything to the market, but that's because we keep putting more resource ounces in front of ourselves. So it's a bit of a moving feast and a great problem to have. Our mining engineers are getting a little bit frustrated. They wish we'd stop drilling, but that's not going to happen in the short term. So yeah, that's the goal, is convert it to reserves. That really shows people when you wrap economics around it, what this ore body's going to be able to do.
Well, tell us more. How do you reckon Never Never as a deposit compares to other gold discoveries in Australia?
Yeah, look, and I have to be really careful because I've used the old MD line. This is the best ore body I've ever seen, many times. But I'm a pretty simple kind of guy, and I don't really talk about things in those terms unless I mean it. And for me, having worked for 20 years roughly in high grade gold and worked for some of the best in the business, including Northern Star and Silver Lake, I've seen some really good deposits. We've assessed them and then passed on them and bought some of them. And this one by far is the widths you see, you just don't see them in ore bodies. Like you get grades like this, but the widths of intercepts consistently from zero to now, almost 900 meters down, that is just incredible.
Well, without preempting any upcoming studies, you fairly certain that we're talking an economic mining operation here?
Yeah, look, I have to be careful about using that word, forward-looking statements and disclaimers aside. But having done this a few times, as I said, 10 gram meter intercepts up to 100 gram meter intercepts. When you've already paid for your capital and you're mining stopes this wide at those grades, the amount of ounces you pull in every stope is going to be eye-wateringly good.
Simon, you mentioned before 5 rigs on site. Just give us a quick recap. You undertook a significant institutional placement towards the end of last year. Just how well funded are you in terms of these upcoming work programs?
Yeah, look, we're really well funded. Obviously, there's quite a few people again trying to throw money at us because they want to see us continue to do well and fund what we're doing and also be part of what we're doing. So we're quite comfortable where we're sitting at the moment. We're going to keep drilling with the funds that we have. We have a very strong plan, a strategy of delivering, and we've already shown that's what we do. So we're just going to keep doing that. The 3 rigs on Never Never is going to convert, most of that existing resource, grow a new resource. We're going to be putting reserve scenarios around that. We're also going to test the link between Gilby's and Never Never because that has the potential for exponential growth. So that's pretty exciting. And then we're also drilling at Sly Fox, which prior to the discovery of Never Never was the highest grade gold deposit at Dalgaranga. So, you know, they'd always thought about that as a potential underground. And I think if we were to go underground on Never Never, which looks highly likely, Sly Fox will be part of that story as well.
And looking bigger picture, what are your processing options in the area?
Yeah, well, look, we obviously own our own plant. So we have a 2.5 million ton plant that's less than 6 years old, sitting about 1,000 meters away from Never Never. In fact, just a bit less. And everything within 2 to 2.5 kilometers of that plant we're drilling at the moment. We're doing a gravity survey, which hopefully will help to augment the SAM survey, the magnetic survey we did middle of last year, and that defines structures really well. And then we'll follow up on those targets. So we've got a huge target set here, but again, being pretty non-creative, I like to start with the existing deposits, drill the gold deposits first, and then work your way out from there. But yeah, plenty of processing options, lots of capacity. You know, people have seen that capacity as a bit of a millstone, but for me, it's about having that infrastructure and having that permitting. You cannot understate the value of having that permitting in place and that infrastructure in place already. And if you put gold in front of it, it's just an amazing combo.
Great to have you on Just Stock, Simon. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Andrew.